Boy, I'll tell you, I played with that audio for a while. For some reason, I can't figure out why the audio for that isn't pulling in here, but that's the intro. It's much clearer, much better. But there it is. I do not know why the audio will not pull through, but it just won't. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I will figure it out. Uh, oh, Norab kicking off the show. He said he's got some news. Bill Body's Twitter has been suspended. My lord, what is this world coming to? What is Elon Musk doing with that Twitter? Anyway, folks, hopefully Smark's going to be joining me. I don't really remember him saying he had something to do this week, but maybe he did. I don't really remember. Honestly, I don't remember, but I don't think he did. So hopefully he'll be joining me. I got Skype loaded up just in case. But for now, I figured I'd go ahead and kick this bad boy off. I am Boxman. What is going on, everybody? This is Wrestling Outlet. Hope I don't. All right, you can't really see the. I was eating some SpaghettiOs earlier. Sorry. Quick meal. Well, what are you gonna do, right? But yeah, man, it's been a crazy week this week, kind of a slow week, but I did find a few things to get into, a few things to talk about. Like I said, hopefully Smark will be joining me. Otherwise, y'all can just sit here, listen to me, look at me, talk to me. Any questions, throw them in the chat. Whatever. We'll go ahead and get this bad boy done. But yeah, I do have a few things to get into. We got some Rick Steiner stuff to get back into, obviously. We've got Roosh being re signed. We get a quick look at what the new Von Erich movie, The Iron Claw, is looking like, and a few other things to get into. Buff Bagwell, Hulk Hogan, and of course Brian Pillman. My God, it's like Smart knew what he was talking about last week. Um, so that's just a few things I've got to get into tonight. Plus, I got a little bit on AEW again. I'm trying to trim that AEW down. A little bit, those reviews. So hopefully that's going to help out everybody in the long run. But yeah, I do want to take and trim those reviews down a little bit. No reason to get in there. We're 24 hours removed already. Most people have already listened to a at least one review. Some people, I mean, I've there's days I listen to two just driving to and from work. Depends on how long they are. But anyway, Nora, continuing with that story, he said, after claiming he was the number one heel on Big Brother UK, the most watched UK wrestling clip, biggest porn star. I think he meant porn star. I think he might have missed an N there, but he said pornster. Maybe he meant sports star? No? I don't know. Anyway, crazy, crazy news. Crazy news. Yeah, Norab, I got to tell you, yesterday's show was yesterday's AEW was a little, I don't want to say boring, it definitely was a little bit slower moving, slower paced than the other shows have been. Not quite sure why that was, but yeah, I definitely caught that a little bit. I actually watched just before I came in here, so it's pretty fresh on my mind. And I'm not gonna lie, that last match was really good. The main event, it was, but honestly, I looked down at my phone and I caught myself looking back up, and it was almost over, and I was like, oh shit, I guess I wasn't that interested in it. But anyway, I'll get into that as we roll along here. I am gonna keep my eye out. Hopefully, Smark will join me soon. He's not on Skype. He's not online. He's not reading my messages. So I'm gonna kick it off. I didn't want to sit here and wait and wait and wait. So I'm not doing that. So we're gonna go ahead and get this bad boy rolling. So anyway, let's just go ahead and kick this off. So we'll see what happens here. Anyway, we got Hulk Hogan back in the news. Not for a lie, not for anything bad this time. Simply, the man has got himself engaged. Yep. After more than a year of dating this woman here, he has popped the question. And I guess she said yes. Her name is Sky Daly. He proposed to her at a restaurant in Tampa. I'm assuming it was his restaurant. Hold on. We got Smart calling in first. Give me 1 second here. I know that might have blown y'all's ears out. I apologize for that. Smart, give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let me just jump on and shut this down real quick. Hold on. Let me shut down this program. Then we will have camera for both of us. Okay, that program is down. Hulk Hogan should still be on the screen. I was just getting into the first story, like literally just starting to talk about it. So perfect timing. All right, so let's do this. Let me close this. Let me do this. This, I should be back on camera. I am. And we can plug this bad boy in. And give me 1 sec. I'll do this. No one will even know we're doing stuff here, Smark. It's amazing. We're going to be right back on screen as soon as we get back on. What's going on, man?
Not a lot. How are you?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Just kind of trying to start this out, get through, and let's make sure. Yep, everything's good. Look at that. That was seamless, Smark.
Right.
Good. Now I can take a few swigs. That's good. Thanks for being here. Yeah, did you I don't know if you had anything to add to what I already had, but I just added one little thing from that was it, but I don't know. Anyway, Smart, I don't know if you even looked at some of the news I had, but let me do one more thing before we get rolling here. Share. Okay. So we should be good now. All right. So, as I was saying, Smark, Hulk Hogan, not in the news for anything bad this time. He has gotten engaged to his just over a year girlfriend, Sky Daly. We were just talking about this Hulk Hogan crazy relationships. But yeah, I actually didn't know that he had gotten rid of the other girl that looked like his daughter, Jennifer. And now he's dating. Was dating. Now he is engaged to Sky Daly, and there she is, right there on the left with Hogan introducing her to everyone with his hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that does not sound like a real name.
No, it doesn't.
Also, I mean, cheers to him, because that was also my first observation upon seeing her. Was like, well, she looks less like his daughter than the other one did, so that's a step forward, I guess.
She actually looks like a mix between his first wife and his daughter.
Yeah, I guess.
Let's just say Hogan has a type.
Because I mean, based on the picture on like the left here, where they're both together. Well, I mean, they're both together, but they're not on the beach. The picture on the left, it kind of looks like off-brand Maurice. Like you bought Maurice on Wish.com.
Yeah, and I think the girl on the top right is Jennifer. I don't think that's the same girl. I think that's Jennifer on the top right, and I don't know if you can see the cursor, but that'd be this picture, obviously. And then, yeah, and then that's her on the left there, looks like sitting on the bar.
Yeah, I don't know. They all look the same to me.
That's what I mean. Hogan definitely has a type.
Mm-hmm.
To say the least.
I'm sure that this will last for a long time, and that everybody will be happy and healthy, and there's no ulterior motives in this. She's not trying to like chase a star or anything like that. I'm sure everything's gonna be fine.
Yeah, but I did not realize he actually married that Jennifer girl, divorced her, has been divorced for over a year, and she actually is the mother of 3 and a yoga instructor. She definitely has the body of a yoga instructor. You can see in that picture she is tone, definitely.
Yeah.
So there you go. I mean, hey, look, TMZ broke this story, and well, I mean, hey, look, congratulations to the guy. I hope it works out. How's that?
I was just trying to like wrap my head around that because just the idea of like, imagine you said that she was a mother of three. Like I personally have a stepfather of my own, but just imagine if you're one of those kids and just like, your mom's been through a couple of relationships, and sort of you're hoping that everything's gonna work out for her, and then this one day she brings home fucking Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan is suddenly your new dad. Like
Well,
imagine that is that's somebody. That's the reality for three people now.
yeah, yeah. Oh,
I mean,
NORAD.
these kids probably have no idea who the fuck Hulk Hogan is at this point. It's not like he's been relevant for anything good in the last 10 years or so, but
Right. Yeah. I'm pulling that tweet up actually, Nora. About I appreciate you pulling that up for me. I actually wanted to talk about that and forgot to grab that, so thank you. Um, Smark, we'll get into that a little bit later, and we're talking about AEW and the women's division and all that good fun stuff.
oh boy, will we ever talk about that?
And I think my kids and everyone just got home. I hear my daughter crying. You may hear noise. You may hear people walking in. We know how that goes. There's not a damn thing I can do about it, folks. I apologize. I'll apologize now. How's that? I apologize in advance.
Very good.
And you're going to hear the dogs fighting. But anyway, good for Hulk Hogan. You know what? He seems to have got his shit together a little more. Hopefully he's older, he's wiser. Look, I got nothing bad to say about the guy in this one. Honestly, I don't. We've shit on the man enough. Let's leave this one alone.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's sort of an ego thing on his behalf because like he wanted to have more championships than Ric Flair. Now he wants to have more divorces than Ric Flair. It's
Yeah, look, as long as he stays out of debt, I don't care how many divorces the guy has. I don't.
Yeah, I mean it's not my problem. I don't have to pay for any of the fucking ones, so
Yeah, exactly. So who gives a shit, right? But yeah,
that's it.
so there you go. There you go, Hulk Hogan. So Smark, something me and you talked about last week was Brian Pillman and his contract expiring over at the AEW. And we were talking where he may end up, and you actually said you could see him in NXT. Now, I don't know if you already knew this, Mark, but he has been spotted at the Performance Center as far back as July 13th. And from what everyone's saying, he has definitely signed with and will be moving to Florida within the next month and joining NXT.
Yeah, I actually got one right for a change. How about that? It seemed obvious. It seemed like I don't know. There's nothing bad about him. Like he's not like just seemed like he didn't never really got used. Seemed like he kind of got lost to the shovel. Like I've watched him wrestle. He's not fucking terrible. He needs maybe a little bit of work on the promo, a little bit of but he had primarily been on the independents for the majority of his career. So he was still getting used to being in front of a camera, being in front of a live crowd in that capacity. Right. So I think it'll work out well for him.
I mean, look, the guy's got a great fucking look for a wrestler. He's got the mullet, the hair. I mean, and he's a second generation wrestler. I don't know if it was his decision. I don't know if he knew he had some interest from WWE already, but I think Tony Khan's kind of an idiot for letting this one fly. Not fighting. I mean, he might have fought for him, but I don't know, man. I agree with you. This guy just never got used well. I mean, once Julia Hart left that group, it was like, why bother with them?
Right.
I mean,
honestly, that group wasn't all that hot anyway. Like, it was a death blow when they lost her, but even when they had her, it was just sort of like that wasn't really a tag team championship caliber act.
No, but still, I mean, he could have been used out of there. When she left, he could have. I mean, we were even giving scenarios of what may happen, and then they were just like, nah, fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck it. I mean, listen, we try to be fair with AEW, but their biggest issue is they get these guys that are hot, sometimes hot off the indies, hot off whatever. I mean, let's take Wardlow. They get this guy that has tons of momentum. He's got everyone behind him. The crowd is chanting his name. They're loving it. And what do? Fucking throw water on him to cool him off. What? I mean, they to focus on what? Jericho and Don Callis? Or Blackpool Combat Club have fucking 6 segments?
Yeah.
Norhub says what will happen to Garrison Cade. Who? Who? Oh, the other guy.
NWA with Murdoch, I guess.
Oh, Jungle Boy Light. I don't know. We don't have a Jungle Boy anymore. And he was sure to say that last night. But yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with Griff Garrison. I smell Rampage, possibly Collision in his future.
I thought you were going to see Impact.
Look, I don't want to be mean to the guy. But no, I listen, you never know. His contract may be expiring soon too. I mean, this is kind of Tony's MO. He'd rather your contract expire and then bye. Look, I'm not firing people.
Yeah, people just like magically disappear there. I've noticed that. Because I don't even know what made me think of it, but I was like in the shower earlier and I was like, hey, Diamante used to be there. What the fuck happened to her? She just up and vanished.
Diamante, yeah. I think they got rid of Ivelisse, who.
Oh, they definitely got rid of Ivelisse.
I don't know, man. I know that. I know she's got an attitude, but I like her.
Yeah, that is the thing. Is I feel like she's really talented. Like she can cut a good promo. She's a good wrestler. Mm-hmm. She's just a hard person to deal with sometimes, and that can work, I guess, if you're a dude. But it seems like the women don't really have as much rope with that kind of shit.
Well, I mean, if you listen to a lot of the stories of the older guys, I mean, Hogan was a pain in the ass to deal with. Warrior was a pain in the ass to deal with. Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels. The list goes on and on of people that were hard to fucking deal with. I mean, I guess people just aren't up for it now because there's so much talent out there that you can just, unfortunately, everyone is replaceable.
I mean, it also, I guess, even in AEW, it depends on who you're friends with, too, because Sammy's been a prick for fucking months and nothing ever happens to him. But certain other people, they get punished or fired or whatever.
Yeah, man, it's, I don't know, man. It's like, it's just a different thing. Nora was saying Y2J is getting overexposed. I'm telling you, man, we don't need to see him that many times on a fucking show. And especially Blackpool Combat Club, we don't need to see him 1,000 fucking times, but I mean, how can you not find a fucking place for a guy like this? I thought he was great in the ring. Like I said, I think he's got a great look. And again, his father is Brian Pillman. I don't know. I hope Tony had a little fight in him for this one because I would not have just let this guy fly.
Yeah, I don't know. It didn't seem like they were all that committed to trying to keep him. It seemed like they didn't really have much plans for him, and they're just like, let you go.
It seems like they're not really committed to keep anybody. It's like, if you want to go, you can go. It's like, like I said, man, I think we've been incredibly fair with them with a lot of things. When something sucks, we say it sucks. When something stupid, we say it's stupid. But let's acknowledge that their problem is they don't focus on talent long enough. They don't fucking. We've had this same complaint with WWE. They do not strike when the iron is hot.
Mm-hmm.
If they do, they overdo it. They make it uncool, and no one ever wants to fucking see it again. So sometimes it's good if they wait a little bit. But I mean, like the fucking Fandango, that shit just fucking got driven into our fucking brain down to the ground, and then no one cared. Don't give a fuck.
I feel like it's two different sides of the coin, but you both end up in the same direction anyway, the same destination. Because like Vince will just stop pushing somebody just for fucking whatever because the wind's blowing to a different direction one day. He'll just wake up and decide not to do it. Tony Khan, I feel like he wants to push a lot of people, but basically he just has like a fucking, like how if you have Netflix or Hulu or whatever, you just have like a watch list and you just keep adding shit to your watch list, but you never actually watch anything. Mm-hmm. Like that's how he just keeps adding people to the roster, and he wants to push them, but there's so many fucking people that you can't push for 20, 30 something people, every new person that you sign to a level that is actually somewhat good or successful or whatever, you're gonna have a lot of people who aren't necessarily mid-card talents, but they're going to be stuck there because you can only have so many people in the main event. So many people be champions, although they invent a new belt every couple months anyway, so that's really not a problem. But
Right.
you know what I mean. And like Norab said, if only Eddie Kingston and Andrade would have invited Tony to their wedding.
Yeah. Dude, I got to tell you, that's a fucking great comparison right there. Because that's exactly what it's like. You just add shit to your watch list, and there is no possible way you can watch all those movies before a good amount of them are taken off. Are taken off the service. That is a absolutely perfect fucking comparison right there. I've never thought of it like that, but that is probably, I mean, that's spot on as far as I'm concerned, man. That's exactly what it's like. That's exactly what AEW is like. Tony just keeps adding and adding and adding and adding and adding. And I mean, Jesus Christ, they brought in Roderick Strong, and now he's just sitting there like some little fucking lost puppy dog with a fucking neck brace on.
Oh no, I love what they're doing with Roderick Strong. I can't imagine he does.
I'm not
But
saying I
him
don't
just
love
being a
it.
little bitch is fucking funny to me.
I'm not saying I don't love it, but I mean, Jesus Christ, they could have fucking. I mean, the guy could have gone to fucking Impact and maybe at least made something of himself over there. No. He's like, no, I'm gonna go over there with my boy. We're gonna bring back the Undisputed. No, you're gonna look like a little bitch in a fucking neck collar. I'm fine with that. But
I feel partially bad for him though, because like he went over there and then like I think was he over there before O'Reilly got injured?
no, Roderick or
Okay, no,
Cole?
never mind. That he made a poor decision then. Because in my mind's eye, I'm sitting there, I'm thinking that he signed with them, and then like O'Reilly got injured and Fish left. But both of those things already happened. So yeah, he just made a poor choice.
Yeah, absolutely. So, hi, babe. Yeah, everyone's home. So yeah, man. Yeah, poor choice, definitely. Maybe they got plans for him after this, but I don't see how you come back from looking like such a goof. I mean, you're like a little lost puppy dog out there. Oh, don't trust MJF. And we all know not to trust MJF. Cole knows not to trust MJF.
That's the funny thing though. Is like, yeah, it's a bad character. I guess it doesn't make him look good, but it is also the most character work he's ever done in his career.
Yeah. And he's getting what he wants out of this deal. We'll talk about that in a little bit. He's completely getting what he wanted out of this deal. So I don't know. But as far as Pillman, I think this was a bad one to just let out of your company. I'm hoping Tony Khan put up a little bit of a fight for him. But I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if he knew he was getting ready to go over to NXT, if he already knew he had interest, but good for him. You see so this brings up the obvious, Mark. NXT, WWE, The Machine, name change.
Mm-hmm.
Brian McGillicuddy.
Ooh.
No. Okay. Do you think they would let him? Do you think they're going to let him stick with the Pillman name?
Oh, definitely. I think that's part of the reason they signed it. It's that lineage.
Do you think they want Brian Pillman Jr.?
Yeah, I mean, nothing.
Okay.
I understand. I guess that's a gun segment, but like nothing Brian Pillman did in personal life was anything that would like merit him not being able to be his son, not being able to use the name.
Oh, no. I'm not saying this is like fucking David Benoit. No. No, I'm just saying WWE is known to change names, especially of legends with, that generational name. All right, you think they will? I hope they do. But we'll see what happens. But you know what's going to happen? They're going to have to fucking trademark and own that name. I don't know.
Probably. I mean, is that his real name?
I don't know. I've never really looked that up. You're welcome to if you want to.
I think it is, but I could be wrong.
All right. Well, go ahead and check that out because I'm actually not sure.
Yeah, I'm on that as we speak.
Yeah, let's see. I know where I put up a video of Rico talking about Bubba Ray. I don't need to. I'm not going to play that. Y'all aren't going to get me again.
What a weird parent.
Yeah, you're not going to get me again. Ain't going to happen. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it this time.
Yep, that's his real name. I mean, Brian Pillman Sr., that was his real name. So Brian
Okay.
Pillman Jr. would stand to reason.
Wow. All right. Well, I guess we'll have to see what happens then. But I hope they keep the name. I think it's obviously got a good lineage. And wow, you seem to think definitely. You jumped right on that. Cool. We'll see.
I think so, just for the sake of like they like the wrestling families, and like his family was sort of interspersed with like the Hart family, so you could just as easily like put him in and like have him and Natalia be pals and shit like that or whatever, and you could sort of do your this is the new Hart Foundation, not to be confused with the first run that they did where like they tried to be like fucking have Teddy Hart in there and then he Teddy Harted all over the place.
Yeah, but they don't even bring up Natalia. I mean, they don't even use her last name anymore, the Neidhart. They just call her Natalia. Done.
That is true.
It's not Natty Neidhart or, that. No, they don't even bring up the Neidhart name anymore. So
she got the Tamina's treatment.
they definitely don't mention Tamina's last name.
Yeah, I don't blame them.
What's her last name? Cook, Jook, Book. I don't know. Anything but Snooker.
Listen, could you be a fat too, pal? We haven't done anything wrong.
Good God, get married already. Okay.
Do you know Rikishi?
I don't care. Marry a woman. Okay. Just change that fucking name. Tamina Snugger. Anyway, let's talk about something real quick, Smark. Buff Bagwell. Buff Bagwell, I guess, was arrested in Cobb County, Georgia on 7/25. So that was just a couple of days ago, Tuesday, at looks like around 1:30. 23:11 to be exact. So no, it's the 23:11 would be about 11:11 at night. But anyway, got booked, got arrested, but everyone was immediately thinking that he had kind of relapsed, had some issues. I mean, that's obviously what I was thinking when I saw this article. So, but he was booked, and actually, it looks like the arrest was on July 13th. It was in Cobb County, Georgia. Don't mess around in Cobb County, Georgia.
You'll be serving a hard time.
Absolutely, you will. And they even put out a little copy of the police report. You can't really probably see it very well here, but you can get it's all over online and Twitter and stuff like that, so you can check that out. Now, it said he was pulled over at 1:30 p.m. local time, was later charged with 2 misdemeanor speeding and driving under the influence. But this wasn't really a bad thing. It wasn't what everyone thinks it was. It actually stemmed from something that had happened last year with Bagwell. He actually jumped on Twitter and actually tried to clear the air a little bit. He said, just wanted to clarify to everyone that I am 11 months sober tomorrow. That would have been yesterday. I see there is news about that I had to spend time in jail for a DUI, but this was from an original offense years ago. I did get a recent sanction because I didn't document a recent trip out of state properly, he said. So it's a little confusing on what's going on. But it does sound like they may have pulled him over for something and they're like, hey, you owe us time for something. It's kind of what it sounds like.
Right.
But what I like to hear is he 11 months sober, and that he wasn't drinking. He wasn't doing drugs. He wasn't under the influence. He wasn't driving fucked up. There's good news in this story. And 11 months sober, I think, is incredible news also.
Yeah. Good for him.
Yeah. He had he's been going to rehab for a while now. He actually let's see, it says revealed that he had recently received his 9-month sobriety chip after entering rehab in August of last year. So, and obviously he's got the support of DDP, Jake Roberts. So he's doing good, man. I'm glad to see it because, man, we were playing some videos of him. He was falling down. He looked like he'd been in a fight and fallen down, if you remember. And we were worried about him.
Yeah, he's looking rough for a minute there.
He was. I mean, you remember those videos, yeah, like I said. But we were a little worried about the man, and glad to see he wasn't driving fucked up. He wasn't doing any drugs. It was just kind of something that stemmed from a charge from a few years ago. So good stuff.
I think it was actually kind of doubly bad at the time too, because he had also joined Cameo, and he probably shouldn't have at that point in time. Because like some of the videos are like, I think we played a couple of them. Some of the videos are kind of little rambly and incoherent.
That's exactly what we were doing, playing the Cameo videos.
Mhm.
And he was visibly fucked up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we played that one where his eye was all busted up, and he said he fell, and it didn't look like it. It looked like he fell into a guy with his fist cocked.
That's it.
I mean, I guess that can happen,
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, definitely could. So, all right. So after that, let's get into one of my favorites, Smark. I love talking about this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Bret the Hitman Hart.
Of course.
Well, according to SES Scoops and Brian R. Solomon, not to be confused with Jason Solomon, Bret Hart actually did try to go to work in a backstage role for AEW, and they only wanted to use him as an on-screen talent. That was it. They didn't want to do anything else. So here we go. Quote from Bret Hart. I'm actually a big fan of Orange Cassidy and his work, but in a company that has Arn Anderson, Jake Roberts, Taz, Billy Gunn, Christian Cage, Chris Jericho, Dustin Rhodes, and Sting in the locker room, shouldn't they be the ones being tapped to be road agents? When I recently interviewed Bret Hart for my book, this is the other guy speaking. When I recently interviewed Bret Hart for my book, he told me that he offered to be an agent for them, AEW, but they only wanted him to bring him in as a manager like Tully, Arn, or Jake.
Like Telly Savalas.
There you go. And so he didn't want to do that. He wanted to just work backstage. So they said no. I mean, it might have something to do with the fact that Bret Hart did shit on this company and worried and said a few bad things about this company, but no, they wanted to use him too much. No way, my man. Christopher Kane, what's going on, guys?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Oh yeah. So, yeah, man, it's What do you think there, Smark?
I mean, I feel bad because like now that that's come out, anytime somebody has a match that like sucked or like they fucked a lot of stuff up, they're like, well, I was already seeing it today. People are like, well, you could have hired Bret Hart as an agent, but you didn't want to do that. It's like, well, that's not a 1-for-1 comparison, is it? But yeah, it's interesting, I guess. I mean, it's surprising that they wouldn't have wanted to use him as an agent, but I mean, I guess if they already had the agents that they wanted, then
yeah. Now, I told that story in order to move along a little bit, though, and tell this story, Smark.
yes,
They actually have tapped somebody to be a backstage producer / agent.
oh,
You may know him. According to Fightful Select, Orange Cassidy is who they've tapped to be a producer, agent, on top of already his wrestling duties. And what?
They didn't think that one through, did they?
Well, no,
That
then.
would make him Agent Orange.
Uh-oh.
Ugh.
I like that.
Boy.
Now, according to Fightful Select, Cassidy produced the Big Bill and Brian Cage versus Trent and Matt Sydal tag match from Rampage. So, and the Infantry versus the Kingdom from Ring of Honor. They got him doing a few things. I saw that Cage match and it was all right. It was fine. I didn't see anything wrong with it. So,
I just hearing the phrase "the kingdom" makes me sticker, and I don't know why.
Agent Orange.
Where it's like he had to be the agent for the fucking the kingdom match. It's like poor guy.
Yes, Christopher Kane, we did name drop you last week.
Yeah,
all in goodness. All in.
Yes,
goodness.
We were talking about the Cody Rhodes documentary,
mm-hmm.
and I said that I thought that it would be pretty perfect if he were to narrate it, and then somehow Christopher Walken got involved. But that's all. I don't remember why.
I don't remember either. But yeah, Christopher Walken got involved. Wow.
That's it.
Yeah.
And then I think we decided that the best course of action would be like sort of a 2 hour, because it was a 2 hour documentary. So you would just switch between the Chris's. You'd get either hour 1 or hour 2, your preference.
Right.
And then Christopher Walken will get the other part.
Yeah. Yeah, Christopher Cassidy has been around a long time. Like from what I've been told, I didn't know much about him either, but he was a Chikara guy.
He was, yes. He was a Wrestle Factory student.
Yeah. So
he literally was one of the ants who was Fire Ant.
Fire Ant. I think we've mentioned that before once or twice on this show, but yeah, he was. So definitely been around.
I know that we like to clown the guy because of the video of him apologizing for like 20 minutes, and rightfully so. It was rather a regrettable video. But like, Mike Quackenbush trained a lot of fucking people. We trained Drew Gulak, Chris Hero, Claudio. Believe it or not, he actually worked with Alexa Bliss for a little while. Like he was at the Performance Center. I get, well, yeah, that was poorly worded, but lucky man, I guess.
I would work with her too. Absolutely, most definitely. But yeah, he definitely has trained a few of these guys, and I mean, yeah. Hey, listen.
I think my favorite story was at one point, like that Chikara and CZW were operating in like the same training space, and as like a way to like extend an olive branch, Quackenbush offered to. This is I guess sort of a rumor or urban legend. It's never really been proven true, I think, but he offered the CZW people a chance to train with them, and like to a man, every one of them told him to go fuck himself, except for one person, Nick Gage. Which is fucking. I would have loved to have seen Nick Gage just like hanging out, like wrestling some ants, and just like it's the whole company MO is that you're not supposed to like swear. So he would have just had a great time there.
Oh, that would have been awesome. Nick Gage out there. I want to say thank you to you motherfuckers.
Just having an aneurysm as he tries to like think of a word that he could use instead of the words that he uses.
I want to say thank you to my mother's friends that are here.
Oh my god, that actually would have been a great gimmick if you have him like cutting a promo, and then you just have somebody like how they do with the fucking television movies, where they just dub over, like instead of saying fuck, you say fruit. So it just becomes he's starting to cut a promo, and it's just like dubbed over like half the promo of just somebody else talking for him and saying words that don't fit.
Like when they dub Scarface.
Mm-hmm.
No, thank you. No, thank you. No, I said thank you. Okay.
I can't. They show that on TV actually way more often than you would think. It surprises me every time.
Because it's hilarious.
I think it's on YouTube. I think you can find like a compilation of like the Scarface edited for TV.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure there's not much you can't find. So, AEW, Bret Hart, not so much. Orange Cassidy, Agent Orange. I like it, Smart.
Hmm.
I do. I like it. Agent Orange it is. Agent Orange. So, from there, we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about a Roosh and a little AEW right there, too. Apparently, AEW has locked up Roosh once again. I didn't realize his contract was expiring. There was, of course, it seems like every time someone leaves, that WWE has interest in him. WWE got interest in him. But he did and Roosh has re-signed with AEW. So good for him. I don't know how long the contract is. They never really say it, but Meltzer did note that the exact details of the contract are unclear, but it is a multi-year deal that could be 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know. No one knows. So we'll see. But listen, I hope they use this guy. I mean, we were just talking about, Tony has this habit of, like you said, Smark. I fucking love the comparison. Adding to his watch list.
Hmm.
But we'll see. I mean, Roosh is a good talent. I didn't really know much about him, but man, Tony's just racking it up, man.
I think it might be a little bit better for him now because last month he ended up departing from AAA. So now it's going to be, I guess AEW basically is going to be his home promotion. He's going to be able to be more dedicated to that. And then it also, with him not being a part of AAA anymore, that frees him up to do like Forbidden Door and shit like that. Because for whatever reason, AAA has a real boner about doing anything with New Japan, I guess. Because that was what we were talking about last year. And there was still no AAA people on the show this year either. Of like, AAA people couldn't work with the New Japan people. And then it became this whole convoluted problem.
I'm going to assume it probably got him up here. Might have even helped him get his green card to stay here and get some work. And look, I hope the guy fucking got a great contract. I hope the guy makes some great money. And I just hope they fucking use him. And we'll see what happens.
I'm the same. He's very talented.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So we'll see what happens. So, all right, Smark. We got to talk about Rick Steiner again. I got to admit, I'm a little on the fence. Have you heard this whole story with him and the WrestleCon thing going down?
I heard that he was pulled off of another WrestleCon. I don't know about any sort of other incidents or further elaboration.
Yeah, it was kind of a thing. Obviously, this stems from the Giselle Shaw. I did say her name right, yeah? Yeah, Shaw incident from, what, a couple months back? A few months back?
Yeah, I mean, WrestleMania weekend.
WrestleMania weekend. Thank you, Smart. I'm not good with time and how far things were and all that stuff. But so originally, WrestleCon had went ahead and worked out their differences with everything and brought in Rick Steiner once again to, give him another shot. And then we find out that, well, we actually got a few more things for him to do before he comes on the show or to the convention. So again, it started out, he's able to come up. Now, again, this all has to do with the Giselle Shaw thing, where he was using some pretty hateful phrases towards Giselle. And WrestleCon, like I said, they invited him back. And this is what this guy, Michael Baciccio, I'm going to go with that, said. I guess he's one of the, I don't know, fucking, who knows what he is. He's a big muckety muck in the old WrestleCon world. So he's
a real mover and shaker in the WrestleCon world.
Yeah, exactly. Big guy, big guy over there. So anyway, yeah.
You make him sound like he's some guy at a bar who's like telling women that he can get them like 2% off on a Cadillac or something because he works at the dealership. It's like, the bar. I got to ask the boss first, but yeah, I think I can get that APR knocked down for you.
No, he's like, oh, I can get you that fucking DDP autograph. Come on, come on, babe. Oh, really? Yeah. So anyway, let's go with this. Let's go with what he said. They after they backtracked on the invitation, when we allowed Rick Steiner to return to our convention as a vendor, guest of Tony Hunter Promotions, we did not adequately take into account the impact his past words from our last event, still held in the LGBTQIA plus community, he wrote on Twitter. He also continued, and he said, we initially allowed him to return because, one, all right, you ready? These are important. We still feel that people deserve a second chance. Okay. All right. I agree. Two, Rick did make an apology to all parties that chose to be present. There's two. And three, we lacked any type of code of conduct / harassment policy that clearly defined our expectations as a convention participant. That one. Okay. So you had to have guidelines and standards for someone not to act like a fucking piece of shit? Anyway.
That is the best possible one. Because, like, okay, second chance, all right, whatever. There hasn't really been that much time removed, but I can. Everybody does deserve a second chance. That's fair, whatever. But, like, we didn't state that you're not allowed to go around saying hateful shit to people. Like, we should have been more clear about that in the contract that we signed with these guys.
Yeah, that's wow. I'm sorry. You have to tell an adult not to. I mean, to act like an adult. I know. I'm a crazy old man here talking, right?
We made him watch the new WrestleCon sensitivity video.
Oh, Jesus.
And Jake Manning explained why you cannot sexually harass people, use racial slurs, or homophobic slurs.
There you go. Hulk Hogan, a special guest on the video. Anyway, this gentleman, Baciccio, wrote on Twitter, he had a discussion with SB Nation. We've all probably heard of SB Nation. Outsports blog, and Brian Bell, who is the host of the LGBT in the Ring podcast. And what he wanted, Brian Bell, was a public apology. So he wanted to bring this out in public more than it already was. Now, I got to tell y'all, I pulled this story not from some wrestling rag. I pulled some pieces of the story right from Detroit News itself, the other half from Fox Business News. So it's not like this story hasn't already hit mainstream media. Okay? This is what they wanted to do. They now want a public apology. So we brought him back. He made an apology to everyone that was involved. Giselle chose not to be there for the apology. I understand that. I probably wouldn't want to be either. I wouldn't want to hear anything he had to say after that. But now they changed their mind, and now they want this public apology. Okay? So let's not go any further. Let's just stop right there, Smark. So what do you think so far? They brought him back in. They did this. He apologized. They had 3 whole reasons they were bringing him back. Second chance. Remember that? Oh, but we believe in this. We believe in that. And then they decide, no, he can't come back until he makes a public apology. And they only gave him 24 hours to do that. So what do you think?
I mean, I don't feel sympathy for him per se, but like it seems like what basically happened was that they thought that enough time had passed. It had not. They done fucked up by bringing him back so soon. Everybody got mad at them. So they're like trying to save face as best they can when they really shouldn't have brought him back so soon to begin with.
Okay. I do agree with that. They probably should have not brought him back in the first place. But when you make some statements like, we still feel people deserve a second chance, Rick did apologize, and then they blame themselves for not having a code of conduct. So I don't know. I don't feel sympathy for Steiner. I definitely agree with you. They probably shouldn't have brought him back in the first place. But you know what? At this point, you just fucking made your bed. Lie in the motherfucker.
Right. Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Like I'm saying, I don't feel sorry for him, but you guys had agreed to terms or whatever. You felt like what he did satisfied your needs, in terms of apology or whatever. And then so you agreed to work together moving forward, and then everybody got mad at you, and you're like, well, turns out that we're actually not cool with what he did. He needs to apologize more. It's like, well, you guys were the ones that were fucking booking him anyway.
See, but they were fine until Brian Bell got a hold of them. And then something changed, which, listen, I honestly have no dog in this fight. I think what Steiner did was fucking deplorable and disgusting. Again, I said this when we did this on WrestleMania weekend or after WrestleMania weekend. If you still think like this in 2023, keep it to your fucking self.
Right.
Just shut your fucking mouth and go about your business and grunt about it in your car with the windows up on the fucking way home. That's what I think. But I don't think this was handled well. And as you just said, Smark, you know how this all could have been avoided?
Not bringing him back so quickly.
You got it, my man. You fucking got it. So this is what they wrote after that. Because we understand the issue required great urgency. This issue, required great urgency. We gave Rick Steiner 24 hours to make such a statement. Unfortunately, there is not currently, and we do not expect to receive such a statement. And we have therefore made a decision to revoke our permission for him to attend. We still have a little more from there, but let's stop there because we tend to forget to go back. I tend to forget to go back. Okay. 24 hours for a guy to do this? I mean, I hate to say, but these guys are using like lawyery type words in these statements. Maybe his lawyer had to look over it. You fucking, maybe his agent had to look over it. You fucking dolts. I mean, I don't know. Again, I'm not sticking up for fucking Steiner, but
I mean, literally, like you were reading, I think it was like the second part of that. They were basically just like, hey, we didn't realize everybody would still be so mad.
Yeah.
It's like, really? You think people let shit go? Really?
Especially
like,
that.
Even if you whether you agree with what he said or not, disagree with what he said or not, fucking nobody lets any fucking thing go these days. Like, there's still, I mean, how there's still plenty of people that are still very much talking about like the whole Bud Light thing. Like, shit does not die anymore. It just fucking keeps going and going and going.
Yeah, and I couldn't give a fuck about fucking Bud Light. And Dirk seems like I agree with you, Dirk. They are trying to be like, look what we did. Well, yeah, exactly. Oh, look, we won't let Rick Steiner here, but you did, and the only reason you didn't is because you faced pressure and backlash for it. That's my issue here. That is my issue here. So they continue, Smark. Here, let me put this back up here one more time. They continue. We will continue to improve upon this code of conduct over time and with the cooperation of others. We understand and appreciate that there will be many differences of opinion among our participants, and we want to create a safe and enjoyable space for everybody at our conventions. At this time, we have partnered in solidarity with other wrestling industry convention leaders, notably StarCast. Oh, good. WrestleCade.
A beacon of credibility.
Yeah, exactly. WrestleCade and The Gathering, or Charlotte Fan Fest, who also agree to adopt and adhere to a similar code of conduct for their events.
I honest to God thought you meant The Gathering of Juggalos.
No, I'm sorry.
Because they do wrestling events and shit there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. But I don't even know if they still have those anymore.
I would have loved to have just seen like fucking Bill Apter and Violent J at like a like a table somewhere at like Ramada.
That would have been fun.
Just ironing the shit out.
There you go. Now, what I didn't know is in Georgia, Steiner is actually a member of the Cherokee School Board there. So I would assume he's probably going to get booted from the school board too, but it is Georgia. It is Georgia. I'm going to leave it right there. And it looks like it's probably a small town in Georgia. So nothing may happen. But
I need to see if I know what that is. Give me a second.
All right. But this was handled wrong from the get-go. I 100% agree, Smark. This never would have been a problem if they just didn't try to bring him back. Maybe don't try to bring him back to make a buck. Ooh, let's bring Steiner back. With this controversy, it'll be great. No. Obviously, this did not work out for him. Again, not defending Rick Steiner anywhere in here, but this was done shitty. Either bring him back or don't. If you believe people deserve second chances, stick to your fucking guns.
Exactly. Sorry. I mean, I think more than anything, they're just trying to like people got upset still. People are still upset about what he said. And then they were trying to find a way to save face. It's like, well, we just, in the goodness of our hearts, we believe in second chances and forgiveness. But, you're right. He does need to apologize. It's like, well, no, you can't just throw him to the wayside and then expect credit when you were still booking him to be there in the first fucking place. You still did the thing that got everybody upset. People aren't just randomly upset at him now. They're randomly upset because, well, not randomly upset. They're upset because he's getting booked to go to do the same exact convention where all this shit started.
Yeah,
a couple months ago.
Now, Tommy in the chat is defending Rick Steiner. No apology. No fucks given.
Fair enough.
Hey, he's allowed. I got whatever. You got you do you, sir. But and the public apology, I'm not quite sure for what the necessity is. Again, this had already hit wrestling news and mainstream media before. So it was out there. I mean, why make it more public than it already is? I really don't understand it. Who besides the people involved does he need to publicly apologize to? You? Me? Do you need an apology, Smark? Do you?
I mean,
you fucking prick.
If I can get one from Scott instead.
Oh,
he didn't do anything wrong. I would rather meet Scott Steiner than Rick Steiner.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say it. Yeah, you're right.
Do you remember, as a brief aside, I forget, there was a robbery or something, and they were talking to people in the community, and they talked to Scott Steiner, not knowing he was Scott Steiner, and they put on the lower third graphic on the local news, local businessman.
Yeah, because he owned the show.
That was the most fucking amazing thing.
I think they robbed his Shoney's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he owned the Shoney's.
He still owns the Shoney's, I believe. I believe.
I would love to make a pilgrimage there someday.
Tommy says about the Steiner thing, people that are upset just need to get over it. Come on, man. People just want to cancel over everything nowadays. You're right. They do. I, and again, I agreed with Dirk. I think there was definitely some virtue signaling going on the WrestleCon's part too. Um, and we will never cancel Scott Steiner for calling people fat.
Well, now hold on a minute.
That used to be a drop on this show. If I still have it somewhere. God damn it!
It's fat.
I could find it. So I could find it if I really needed to. I could probably dig that motherfucker up. So no, I'm pretty against the cancel culture. But listen, it wouldn't hurt to maybe have them take a couple of fucking WrestleCons off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, at least a year. I mean, it was a couple of months.
Let's let the crazies die down a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, and also I'm looking at the cities and towns that are within Cherokee County here in Georgia, and I don't think he's in danger of losing his school board position, is what I'm going to go ahead and say about that.
Yeah, and I said crazy. I meant craziness. I don't know why I said crazies.
Craziness.
I meant craziness. Let's the craziness die down a little bit. I caught that like right when you started speaking. I'm like, what the fuck did I just say? So anyway, I've only got one little thing left for the news, and it's not anything we're going to spend any more time on because I'm done with this Steiner thing. I think we've pretty much covered every angle, if you will. So we did get a quick first look at what the all the Von Erichs are going to look like in the Iron Claw movie, and there it is right there. This is going to be you got Zac Efron, Jeremy Allen White, and Harris Dickinson are the most popular in that movie, and there they are right there. So I don't know, man. There's a lot of buzz behind this movie, especially here in Texas.
I would imagine, yeah.
I've actually heard people like talking about this movie like that definitely aren't wrestling fans.
Just out of curiosity, where is Lacey in all of this?
Who?
Lacey? Von Erich? She was in TNA Impact?
No. I got you. I didn't hear what you said first. Then I heard you the second time. Lacey. I don't know. I don't know if they're even gonna. I mean, you figure they've got to bring her up. Now, whose daughter is she? Is she Carrie's or Kevin's?
I said that apprehensively because I was worried that was a situation where she wasn't actually part of the family and it was just a gimmick thing. But I was pretty sure that she was.
No, I believe she really is. I know she is. When she stopped wrestling, she said, "I'm a Von Erich through and through, except in the ring," something like that, to that effect. So, yeah, Tommy, I know, but remember, I'm in Texas, and the Von Erichs were like gods in Texas. And I've actually heard when you bring up anything to do with the wrestling, oh man, you hear they're making a movie about the Von Erichs? You know who the Von Erichs are? It's like, yeah, I know who the fucking Von Erichs are. Jesus Christ, dude.
There's always one guy who knew them or drove them or some shit.
Not usually, but everyone here knows the Von Erichs. There's a few people here everyone knows. Everyone knows the Von Erichs. They've all heard of Steve Austin and The Undertaker. For some reason, those are the main people, but in Texas, the Von
It's
Erichs.
like that's a Texas wrestling Mount Rushmore. You got Stone Cold, The Undertaker, and then like Fritz Von Erich.
Right, and the fourth one would be like some barbecue. Yes, Tommy, they are still like gods in Texas. Absolutely. They are 100%.
Oh,
but yeah.
I was hoping that you would just like throw out some like randomly obscure wrestler there as like number 4. It's like, and then of course number 4, the fucking Tiger Mask. Everybody loves Tiger Mask for some reason.
Maybe I don't know, but yeah, this is really like Tiger Mask, fucking wacko.
Nora said Jinder Mahal. There it is. We've got the Texas Wrestling Mount Rushmore.
Oh, there you
Stone
go.
Cold, The Undertaker, Fritz Von Erich, and of course Jinder Mahal.
I have a feeling more people know Sammy Guevara than Jinder Mahal in Texas. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe there's a situation where the more hipstery part of Texas knows him.
Maybe.
Like Austin's a big fan of Jinder Mahal.
Probably in Austin. But yeah, I mean, literally, anytime you bring up wrestling here, someone has to say it. You ever heard of the Von Erichs? Kind of a popular. Yes, I'm 48 years old. I've heard of the Von Erichs once or twice.
Are you having conversations with Ernie from Sesame Street? Have you heard about the Von Erichs?
You're right. You're right. I'm in Texas. You heard of them Von Erich boys?
You want to see the claw? Want to see the claw, bro?
Them there boys pretty good. I'll tell you right now. They were pretty good back in the day, back when the Sportatorium was up. Boy, I'll tell you.
Just gotta keep them away from the animal shelters, bro.
Anyway, we look like we're 30 years young. No, I will be actually. Let's see. It is in. What is today? Thursday? In 8 days, I will be 48 years old.
Yeah, I'll take it. You bump me down 2 years. I'll take it.
Yeah. In 8 days, I'll be 48 years old, pushing 50, my man. I'm on the wrong side of 40. That's all I know. No, the Freebirds. There you go. No, but I remember the Freebirds.
Hell yeah.
You know, I'm surprised that, honestly, no one brings them up like you figured they would, but goddamn Michael Hayes fucked that up, I guess, man. I don't know. I don't know what Michael Hayes would have done wrong, the poor fucking guy.
I mean, minus some of the other things that he's done, like I wouldn't mind sort of just adapting his style of dress as I get older.
Right. He's
just walking around the fucking purple fedora, purple pimp suit.
Tommy says, I get it. I'm in Tennessee, and everyone here still treats Rock and Roll Express like gods, non-wrestling fans. Dude, that's because they are. They are gods. That's exactly why Robert's eyes are fucked up. They had to fit his godlike body into that fucking into there, and his eyes are fucked up from it. There's too much God in there. No, I am the Rock and Roll Express is the reason I love wrestling and got into wrestling and am still a wrestling fan today. Rock and Roll Express was that reason. So to me, them motherfuckers are still gods. So
yeah, I mean, it also kind of depends on what part of Tennessee too.
Yeah,
because like around here, people do love them, but then like you start getting into like Memphis and shit, that becomes more Jerry Lawler. But
yeah, you're right. I mean, yeah, it all depends on where you go. There's always somebody. I mean, unless you're in like Minnesota. I don't know who you got in Minnesota there. Let's see.
Player, kind of, but they don't really mention that. Like I think he's actually from Minnesota. Player.
Really?
I mean, are you talking Minnesota the state? Because like you got Kurt Hennig.
Okay. Minnesota. Okay.
I don't remember other people.
Prince.
Yeah, of course.
Kirby Puckett.
Bit of a spot monkey, that guy.
Kirby Puckett. So, I think Tommy's saying he's up near where Smoky Mountain ran in the Northeast. I don't know where that is compared to you, but
I almost said where it was, but I wasn't trying to dox him. I was like, "Oh, I know that." He's like, "Oh, never mind."
That's Cobb County. No.
I've been in that vicinity before. That's not quite where I live, but I've been there.
Yeah. All right, but yeah, I got to tell you, when they were putting out those pictures of Zac Efron a few weeks ago, he looked like a weird looking Hulk, like a weird like they were making a movie on Lou Ferrigno or something. But I don't know. I think the HD pictures are not doing him any favors. But I definitely think this is going to be a pretty good movie to take a look at, and I'm interested to see how it does here in Texas.
That is actually, I hadn't thought about that now that we're talking about, because they're making a movie about the Von Erichs, which would mean at some point they're going to have, like, the Freebirds do have to be included to some extent, I'd imagine, which means there may or may not be somebody playing Michael Hayes. Which would be fucking wild. Who would you pick to be Michael Hayes? I want to know now. I need to see this movie.
I don't know. You never know. Yeah, Tommy. No, MJF obviously not in this photo, but I don't know who he's playing in this movie, but he is in this. And supposedly there's a lot of cameos in this movie, so I think it's going to be something pretty cool. And yeah, I definitely want to see how this movie does in over here in Texas.
MJF was playing Michael Hayes.
Oh God,
That would be the most. I would pay. I would see this movie like multiple times in the theater.
what if Michael Hayes is playing Michael Hayes?
That would be even better. Old Michael Hayes playing young Michael Hayes.
Oh yeah,
Like no makeup, no fucking adjustments. Is Michael Hayes as he is now, wearing his Freebird attire.
I'd love it. I'd love it. That would be. Oh, Tommy says he thinks that MJF is Lance Von Erich. I think you might be right. That sounds right. We talked about it.
Yeah, that does sound right. I'm gonna look it up, but I
All right.
think
Yeah, please. But I think Tommy may be 100%. I think he nailed it there. So we'll.
well, the first result I get when I type MJF and Von Erich is Lance Von Erich. So I'm gonna go ahead and assume.
I would assume he nailed it there. I would assume he did. So, all right. Well, usually we kind of try to get some AEW.
According to old WrestleZone, that's what's going on.
Oh well,
Lance Von Erich.
Old WrestleZone is always right. But yeah, we usually try to transition from an AEW story, but this picture came out today, and I actually had the news done yesterday. So
I actually didn't know A24 is the production company behind that. It has potential to be a good movie. They make good horror movies. I don't know about their other.
All right. And that one will be out in theaters December 22nd, right in time for Christmas.
There you go.
There you go. So we'll just have to see what happens there, everybody. So AEW?
Sure. Real quickly though, are you the type of person that like goes to the movie theaters on Christmas time?
I don't go to the movie theater
Ever? I don't blame you.
I have been to the movie theater, I would say. I've known my wife 14 years. Her favorite thing in the world to do is go to the movies. We have probably been 5 times, maybe 4. I don't like going to the movies. I like sitting at home, watching my movie. I don't care to go fucking have to buy fucking food, have to do this, do that. Sit in traffic. No, fuck that. Fuck that.
Last time I went to the movie theater, I snuck food in, and it was a wonderful experience.
There you go. Well, most of the movie theaters here are like those like studio movie theaters. Know what I mean?
Yeah, like the franchise ones, chain ones, like Legal Cinema and JMC.
Yeah, those but a lot of them here serve dinners.
Yeah.
So the last time we went, I ordered fucking chicken tenders. Okay, we're sitting there. We see everybody else getting food. We see everyone getting food. I am starving. I had not eaten all fucking day that day. I just started a new job. I was fucking nervous. I couldn't eat. We go see, I want to say it was fucking Bohemian Rhapsody.
Nice.
It was Bohemian Rhapsody. And we're sitting there and everyone's getting their fucking food. Everyone's getting their food. And finally we were like, maybe we should call the waitress and see what's going on. We ordered. They had completely lost our ticket. They didn't know where our food was. There was literally 15 minutes of the movie left when we got our food.
Well, damn.
15 fucking minutes left. People are paying their bills and we're just getting our fucking food. And I'm like, motherfucker. So I got to be honest, I have not been back to the movie theater since Bohemian Rhapsody came out. What was that, 2017?
Probably.
Right around there. So that's the last time I went to a fucking movie. Just don't care, man. I just don't give a fuck. I don't. Anyway. Tommy went and he was blown away that movie theaters, that chicken tenders. Dude, chicken tenders keep kids quiet. I'm going to tell you that right fucking now. Oh, they'll keep them busy for hours. You give you give like a fucking 6-year-old a big chicken tender. You got 20 minutes right there. You got.
You give me a chicken tender, and that'll keep me quiet for a while too.
You give me chicken tenders. You give me 5 minutes. That's all I need. I don't care how many there are. I'll tear them bitches up. I like me some tenders. I do.
I think I actually did that when I went to go see like the Dark Knight or whatever. And it was I guess chicken tenders then, and I actually had a much better experience because they just handed me my chicken tenders. Like I had to wait like 5 minutes, but everything was fine.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, Bohemian Rhapsody, last movie I went and saw with my wife. And she's been she goes all the time. So, I mean, that's what we get her for Christmas. A lot of us is movie theater like gift cards.
Very nice.
Yeah, and she takes the kids or sometimes doesn't, but that's what she does.
Oh man, according to NORAD, we missed Impact.
No, we did.
Fuck. Every week we do this. It's almost like we do it on purpose.
I know. All the time. What is this? Oh, interesting.
I guess please no spoilers because I plan on watching it after the show.
Really? Is the wife going to see Barbie? I don't think so. And not for any of those reasons. She's not really a Barbie.
Say it, Barbie girl.
My wife wasn't really a Barbie girl in the Barbie world.
Mm-hmm.
But I did say, come on, Barbie, let's go party. I'm joking. Anyway, no, I don't think she is. She's just not interested in it. And my daughter's not really a Barbie chick either. My daughter, for some reason, right now is in a Hot Wheels phase. She will play with Hot Wheels for hours on end. So right now, that's what she's doing. She learned how to put the tracks together, and she's doing it. And so that's what my daughter is doing right now. Hot Wheels.
Eric Young versus Magnus, and he wrote that in all caps. I enjoy that he appreciated the all caps was the decision that he made with it. Good job, Morel. I appreciate it.
I actually like both those guys. That's probably going to be a good match, to be honest with you.
And Eric Young's all right. He's like the anti-R-Truth, though. Like, R-Truth ages like 1 day in 10 years. Eric Young ages 10 years in 3 minutes.
Dude, when you have a voice like that, it sounds like he's been fucking, swallowing fucking whiskey and cigars.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he talks like fucking this when he goes out there in the ring. Let me tell you something. Oh, God.
Now, that's an idea for a gimmick. Because he talks like that, like you said, he sounds like he should be on some of those like not anti-smoking commercials. Get him the old voice box that Kane used to use.
There you go. Red cane, not blue cane or rainbow cane.
That's right.
Okay. Want to make sure we have the right cane here.
You mean color-coded canes.
A lot of canes coming out lately.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of cane. So anyway, let's kick this bad boy off, AEW. Again, I'm not sitting here with a ton of pictures. I've only got like 6 or 7 pictures. So we're going to get through it as quick as we have been lately. First match was Orange Cassidy versus AR Fox for the International Championship. This kicked off with Darby Allin once again doing a video on how great a person is and how he lived on this one's fucking just moved in with AR Fox. No charge, just bummed a room and crashed there, and how good of a guy he is. So that's kind of how we started the show. And then we get the match.
At least it made sense later on because it seemed like the entire point of as to why this guy got a title shot was because he was a nice guy. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
That's as good of a reason as any, I suppose.
Yeah, you're right. Wow. No, seems like everyone in the chat agreed that this week wasn't that good. That's why my notes aren't that big, guys. I'm telling you, we're going to be done.
I liked the first hour.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess you're right. The first hour was better than the second. Again, the last match I was...
boy, did we hit a point after a little while.
Well, again, man, when you got Blackpool Combat Club all over the fucking show, this isn't the fucking NWO days. Can we stop this?
Mm-hmm.
But anywho, we get this Orange Cassidy AR Fox match. Match went well. A lot of flippy. Lots of flippy in this match, Mark.
Yes, that's why I liked it. I mean, I unapologetically love Spot Fest, and for somebody who loves Spot Fest, right up my alley, because they did a lot of cool shit.
They did, and it was a good match between these two guys. With, of course, Orange Cassidy kind of being that underdog the whole time, as he's been good at doing. But eventually, Orange Cassidy does pick up the win. After the match, they're kind of getting along. Orange Cassidy puts the sunglasses on him, and they're kind of posing real quick. And then Fox just takes him off his face, breaks him in half, and punches out Orange Cassidy. And then Darby Allin runs down to the ring, and the only words he could seem to get out that were loud and legible that he repeated were, "That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing.
Fucking embarrassing.
That's embarrassing." And then he would say, like, "That's embarrassing."
Fucking embarrassing.
Exactly. So
he basically did his best impression of the coach from Letterkenny. But what's funny about this is like Darby Allin's supposed to be like sort of like, I don't know, like a loner or like counterculture type guy or whatever. But then he's like very upset that somebody's not following the rules and being a good upstanding citizen. Like it just seems like it clashes with his whole visual like aesthetic.
yeah, suddenly we have all these, like, he's got all these friends.
Like he's fucking John Goodman in the Big Lebowski. It's like there are rules for a reason.
I still haven't seen it, Smark.
Does nobody follow the fucking rules?
I haven't seen it, Smark.
And it's an alright movie.
I'm
I'm not gonna say it's a good movie because I don't want to overhype it, but I enjoy it.
Not gonna lie, I have it. I recently obtained it. We'll put it that way. I do have it. I also realized that my 3 terabyte hard drive is full of movies. I now have to move on to my 5 terabyte hard drive and fill it with movies. So, anywho, that happened after the match. So again, Darby just down there, just you're that's embarrassing. While this is all happening, Moxley comes out, and I was kind of like, the fuck?
Yes, this was great because he comes out and he fucking just like clotheslines Orange Cassidy, and then they're on commentary and it's like, well, we all know why that happened. It's like, no, we don't all know why. Don't expect everybody to watch Rampage. I mean, they eventually sort of explained it, but like it was like, we all know why this happened. Like, no.
What's this weird shit?
I didn't watch Collision this week. Let alone Rampage. Like you're gonna have to explain to me what happened on Rampage. I'm sorry.
This was at the ROH thing actually where this happened. I guess Cassidy accidentally hit Claudio, which is why Moxley came out for him, because you fuck with one of us, you fuck with all of us. But why couldn't Claudio come down and defend himself?
That's a good question. Yeah, it did happen on the pay-per-view. But they said, yeah, we saw what happened Friday. And it's like, no. That's why I thought they were talking about Rampage. But yeah, they did have a pay-per-view.
Let me ask you something about that pay-per-view, Smark.
Yes.
Did you know about it?
Yeah, because we talked about it last week. Because I had my days mixed up. Because I thought we were doing the show on Wednesday. Because I was like, why is there a pay-per-view on Thursday? You're like, no, tomorrow's Friday. I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. And then I just still proceeded to not watch the Ring of Honor pay-per-view.
Well, we talked about it.
I wanted to. I just didn't get around to it.
We did talk about it, but there was no mention of it on Wednesday. From what I was told, there was no mention of it even on Rampage. Excuse me.
Honestly, the only promotion that I saw from it was from New Japan. Because there was a promo of Eddie Kingston talking about how, because it was Mark Briscoe challenging Claudio, I believe, for the title. So it was Eddie Kingston cutting a promo about like how much he hates Claudio and how Mark Briscoe needs to win the belt. And like that was the most promotion I saw from that, was like from New Japan.
Right. Well, Yeah, it just wasn't that popular. It wasn't that promoted. They really need to. I don't know why. I know people said they were sick of seeing ROH on AEW, and I think Tony doesn't understand. You should at least be plugging your fucking pay-per-views on your own show.
Right. Yeah. I mean, they went a bit far in the opposite direction there because for a while there was a lot of Ring of Honor stuff on the show and people weren't happy about that. I was sort of indifferent on it, honestly, but there was a lot of people that weren't happy about it. So then they're just like, don't mention it at all. Now it's like, well, yeah, maybe you promote the pay-per-view a little bit.
Yeah, that would help, wouldn't it? That would help. But all right. So that happened. Then we get Jericho backstage. We got a decent amount of Jericho tonight too. Jericho's backstage with Renee, Don Callis. Callis has requested this time to speak to Jericho, and basically he kind of goads Jericho into having a tag match with Takeshita against Sammy and Daniel Garcia. Sammy Guevara and Daniel Garcia. So I thought that was weird, but not as weird as the painting we got.
I want to know who's making these paintings. Like, who is he getting? Who is he commissioning to make these paintings?
I don't know, but it's obviously the same one that did him and Omega because it had the same vibe to it.
Mm-hmm.
It had the same fucking vibe to it. So yeah, it was a little weird, but Jericho did agree to participate in the match. Yeah. You know what? We'll just go ahead and bring this up. We get a segment later where he's talking to, because of this, we get a segment later where Anna Jay, Ty Conti, who, my God, does she look good pregnant? She's just such a pretty girl. And Matt Menard and Angelo Parker, who I still don't think they have an actual tag team name. And they're back there, and they just need to know what's going on with Jericho. And I think the best line might have been by Anna Jay. This whole time we've been appreciating you, and you haven't appreciated us. I think that was the best line. That's all that needed to be said. I think that should have been that's all. It should have been over after that. But Angelo Parker brought out his comb and told Jericho how much it meant to him because he gave him that comb. This is my switch comb.
Grandma gave me that chain.
Jericho gave me that. I'm not going to give it back yet. But anyway, they all said the same thing to him. Look, if you can't be 100% with us, like Hager said, we're not going to be 100% with you.
I was hoping for whatever reason there'd just be one person that would just stick with him anyway. Like ideally, like fucking Menard, just hanging out. He's like, nah, it is fucking beats NXT. I guess I don't know. I'll hang out with you.
Yeah, actually, Menard actually kind of gave him the most shit. Kind of looked him in the face and said, "Fix it fast."
That's right.
I like Menard. I think he's again. I still say he's doing Joe Pesci, but I got no issues with that. I think he's fucking hilarious. So anyway, let's go ahead and go here. Now we get Smark.
How dare you, Norab? He said we need Chaos Project on TV instead of Jericho. You're going to be really happy Friday then. Because Rampage is going to go up by one person because they're going to be in the fucking tag team battle royal that they were talking about. It's all the great people are going to be on Rampage Friday because not only are you going to get Dr. Luther, you're also going to get Matt Taven because there's going to be a Kingdom match. So like, just it's the heavy hitters aplenty.
So you say?
Yeah, that's right. I'm going to unplug my television Friday night just to be safe. Like I don't intend on watching it, but just I don't want to risk that it somehow ends up on my television.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. Let's see.
I'm going to quarantine my TV.
Yeah. Oh, Tommy, Ty, and Britt had a rough night. Oh, we're getting there.
Oh yes, we will talk about that.
Oh, we will. You know what? I forgot to put that goddamn video up. I'll still play it for you guys. We don't need sound to it. So we do hear from Jack Perry, who reminded us once again his name is Jack Perry. There is no more Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy's gone. He's gone. I like this by him. It was a little awkward in the beginning. It was actually fucking weird in the beginning because I guess they expected him to be showered with booze from the crowd. And Tony was like, yeah, listen to him telling you how they feel.
Indifferent.
And I'm like, are we listening for the fucking crickets? I mean, there wasn't a sound being made. You could have heard a fucking pin drop. And then they booed him. The crowd jumped in, saved his ass, to be honest with you. But that was odd. And then Perry kind of comes out and he's talking about, listen, I beat Hook. Hook went home because he can't hang with the big boys. Says that the only time that FTW title ever had prestige is when he had it and put his hands on it.
He even had the I beat Hook t-shirt.
Exactly. Oh, you're right. He did. There it is right there. He took Hook's shirt and just put I beat. I did notice the I beat was in the orange.
Mm-hmm.
The Taz orange, which we have on our wrestling outlet, actually. We match. We match.
You're the only Taz approved wrestling podcast.
We match. I like the color.
It is a good color.
Reminds me of Taz, Dukes of Hazzard. In orange. I like oranges.
Dub Bears.
Dub Bears.
That's right.
There you go. There you go. Anyway, I did love Taz's reaction when Perry looked up and was like, Taz, I would have beat you and all your friends' ass back in the day in ECW, he meant. Taz was like, really? But it was the most genuine laugh out of Taz.
Mm-hmm.
Like he really was like, no way, piece of shit. You couldn't have fucked with any of us.
Mm-hmm.
That brought down Jerry Lynn, Smark, who I'm not gonna lie, the guy, he looks good, but I do believe he has some nerve damage, and I don't think he can actually take any bumps. Basically, Jerry Lynn, hey, ECW paved the way for you little fucking punks to come out here and even do this bullshit. I challenged him to a match next week, but I don't know how that's gonna work. I'm assuming this is this is bait for Hook.
Well, they didn't exactly announce it as a match, though.
Face to face.
On the graphics, yeah, they said it was going to be a face to face.
Correct. They did because again, I don't think Lynn can actually take a bump, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. And he's been sort of retired for a minute now, but yeah, it's also supposed to be the 200th episode.
Correct. And we at the end of this, I'll tell y'all what 3 matches we already got ready for that show. But
it
again,
did kind of make me mildly sad though, because I was like, well, who else from UCW could they bring on? And then I kept thinking of people, and they just were all passed away, and it was like, sad.
You don't. Well, number one, but you don't think they're gonna start bringing a bunch of what's left of the ECW roster? I mean, we're gonna see Tommy Dream. We're gonna see Sandman.
I love ECW. Dear God, I hope so.
I do too.
That's it. I love ECW, but I really hope that this is not their attempt to do how TNA did when they did their version of ECW. I hope this is not setting up for another ECW homage. That would not be great. Maybe RVD. I think he's still healthy.
He is, but I don't know. I mean, the guy's fucking living his best life. I don't think he needs to take any more bumps. The guy's just fucking banging 2 chicks and selling weed legally.
He's having himself a time.
Shit. I wouldn't take a fucking bump ever again in my life.
Well, how great would that be as a swerve if, like, you have him talking shit about ECW and then, like, just Jake Hager comes out to the ring? He's like, how dare you disrespect ECW? I was champion there once.
Ooh, Stephanie comes out with the hat on. Wouldn't that be fucking amazing?
Yeah, the beret.
The beret, the ECW beret. Oh, dude. Oh, my God. Tony Khan would literally probably pop a fucking bonaire if that fucking happened. That's right, a bonaire. Not just a boner, a bonaire. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Anyway, after all that went down, we had a good match, Smark.
Mm-hmm.
We had Pac versus Gravity.
That's right.
Now, I know we all thought that Gravity forgot Pac, excuse me, but he didn't because he was wrestling him tonight.
That's right.
And if you saw, remember, Pac used Neville was the man Gravity forgot.
That's right.
So he was trying to reintroduce himself to Gravity in the beginning of the match. I don't know how many people got that.
Well, Excalibur brought up on commentary, which thank God that he did, because it would have made no sense for people who didn't remember his nickname, because he just kept yelling at him, "Forget me not," over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's going to confuse the shit out of people who weren't paying attention to commentary.
Yeah. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. Anyway.
I honest to God thought until they had mentioned on commentary that he is Bandito's little brother, I guess.
Yeah, he is.
I honestly thought that it was some kind of an angle where it was another wrestler just wearing a mask.
No.
I thought he was somebody else. I thought it was just like an actual. I shouldn't say actual wrestler. That's mean. He's the Gravity's a good wrestler. But I thought it was one of those things where it was like somebody wearing a disguise and somebody was gonna jump him after the match or something, but no.
I don't know, but you're right. He's very good.
Yeah, like Tommy's saying, he's watches all kinds of wrestling and he just never heard of the guy. I had never heard of the guy either.
No, I haven't either, to be honest with you. But maybe this is one of them that Tony picked up early. But I don't know. I thought it was a hell of a match between these two guys.
It's got a cool mask. I'll say that much.
It was, man. It was a really fucking good match between these two guys, and I didn't expect any fucking less from especially Pac. Pac always goes out there and fucking blows it out of the fucking water. So there you go, man. Good fucking match. I believe Pac won, right?
He sure did.
He did. Again, man, it was a long fucking night. Long day today, man. Long day. But, yeah, great match. Great match between these two guys. Now, I know I said we weren't going to go through a lot of the video, but believe it or not, the talking segments tonight were probably better than the matches, or last night, excuse me. We go to Renee backstage. There was a little video before that. We don't need to fucking talk about that. We have MJF and Cole backstage. And again, I was expecting comedy. No. What we got was MJF and Cole actually fucking going out there and doing some fucking good shit with this, with the promo. MJF. I loved MJF saying, talking about FTR, saying he's going to hit them so hard that they'll have no choice but to spit out CM Punk's jockstrap.
Which was amazing because I rewound that 2 times.
Beautiful.
The first time it made me laugh hard, and then I rewound it again just so I could experience it one more time. And I noticed that as he said that, Renee just bites her lip to keep from laughing. And it was that was a beautiful line. That was amazing.
Dude, there was a lot of Piper in that fucking promo.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of Piper, but I got to tell you, man, he fucking went out, no bullshit. He went out there and nailed that fucking promo.
Just straight up made fun. He like just basically said that he was tired of hearing about him and like hearing about his fucking daughter.
My
It was like,
baby
I don't love
daughter,
my wife and my daughter. I love my family. Nobody cares. Like
and I
it's
love this
fucking,
business.
it was fucking hilarious because okay, yes, they were both from last week and they were both pre-taped and they clearly did not see
Who cares?
each other's promos. But MJF literally like his imitation was like almost word for word Dax's promo. It was fucking amazing.
It really was, man. I loved it. I fucking loved it. But after that, this hot fucking promo, they hand it over to the cooler, Adam Cole.
Oh, that's not fair. I mean, yes,
No.
okay, MJF was like the best part of that promo, but like, where do you go from the CM Punk jockstrap line? Like after that, you take it home.
I know, but and then Cole's getting all serious. I didn't expect us to be friends. I didn't expect to love this. I didn't expect to love you, but I do. I over exaggerated a little bit there, but a little bit, not a lot. But that brought Roderick Strong in because Cole was saying how good of a friend and all this stuff MJF was being to him, and fucking Roddy comes in like, man, don't trust him. Don't trust him. And Cole had to calm him down. Look, man, I love you. I love you. But I got to do this. And again, Roddy just looking like the little lost puppy bitch that he is.
It's fucking amazing.
What's amazing is Adam Cole is taller than him.
That is also true.
I'm sorry, dude. And I didn't look, I didn't mean to call Adam Cole the cooler, but think about that fucking promo that we just said MJF just fucking nailed to the fucking ground. And then we get, I mean, jockstrap fucking line, and then boom, give it to the guy who's about to get fucking serious. I honestly, that part shouldn't have been tonight. They should have let that fucking promo go right there. No reason to have Adam Cole talk. He should have shut up because that was fire. And then they handed the extinguisher.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree. You just end it after the CM Punk jockstrap line and you got yourself a great promo.
Mm-hmm. Or have Cole talk. Forget all the friend bullshit. They should have just cut a fucking promo. Done on the match and been done with it. Roddy could have fucking sat in fucking catering and waited for him after the fucking match.
Yeah.
Or the promo, excuse me. Unnecessary. His whole hire is fucking, his whole being here is unnecessary. Good God, just because your fucking wife is here, we didn't need you too.
She's not exactly killing it either.
Well, I don't want to go there. Thank you. Glad you said it, not me. Because I like her. And I thought she was actually pretty talented over in NXT, but it seems like she did need the tutelage of the NXT coaches. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to leave it there.
Mayhaps.
I'm going to leave it there. But I loved the rebuttal we got from FTR. I thought it was kind of funny because literally Dax went and cut the exact promo.
Yes, that's part about this.
They just made fun of him for. You're right. I do love my daughter. I love my wife, and I love this business.
It's like you probably mentioned that I have a goofy accent and that all I do is talk about my wife and my daughter. It's like, yep.
That's basically what he just said. You fucking nailed it, dude. You nailed it. You fucking nailed it. And then he tells him, if you talk about my family, I'm gonna rip your eyeballs out. Well, he just fucking did, bitch.
Well, that is the funny part. Is like he's cutting the promo and he's like, "Yeah, you probably made fun of my ex, and I don't care." It's like, no, there's documented evidence that you do care. That's what makes it funny. It's like you had a podcast, your own podcast, where
Yeah.
you complained about people making fun of your ex. Like, there's evidence from your own mouth, like your words.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. We discussed it.
Mm-hmm.
We discussed it on this show. So I don't know. And I did like that Dax was like, I don't like all this dancing shit. You're out there fucking making mockery of my business.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yeah, MJF. Yeah, he knew you'd say that.
Like, this is real life to me. Like, okay.
Yeah, really?
Where it's like it's a terrible line for two different reasons.
Oh, yeah.
First off, you would assume that wrestling to the characters, it's real to them too. Like MJF's not like, yeah, I'm gonna like fake kick your ass next week. Like he said he was going to kick his ass for realsies.
Fake kick your ass next week.
I'm gonna pretend to beat you up next week. It's like no, like everybody when they're cutting promos, we're all like in this together. That this is supposed to be, real, or whatever, and suspension of disbelief, that whole thing. So it's like, all right, you're fucking greatly tampering with our ability to suspend disbelief. Where it's like, this is real to me. This isn't a gimmick to me. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
So let's eliminate that. Then you're also saying, you're basically pulling the old Bret Hart of like, this isn't a fucking work to me. This is a shoot to me. It's like, okay, so you look ridiculous on two different levels.
Huh? I personally like when they come out there and say, I can't wait until we have our predetermined scripted thing in the ring.
Next week, I think I'm going to be booked to win. It's like, okay, why are you doing this? Like, I'm having a good time with this show, and you're fucking actively pulling me out of it.
Mm-hmm. And Smark, booking. That is a perfect segue to the next match.
Oh, yes.
Britt Baker, Taya Valkyrie. We have praised both on this show.
Yes, I like Taya quite a bit.
Absolutely. Individually, we have praised both on this show. So, this was not good.
No.
They either don't work well, they have no chemistry, I guess. But if you ever wondered what it was like to see robots wrestling, I felt like we saw it last night with this match. They looked like they were in fucking slow-mo. Looked like they were on fucking Xanax, or I was on Xanax. Someone was on Xanax.
You said this is like AI generated wrestling, where it's like if you look close enough, you can just sort of tell that it's not quite real, but it's almost convincing.
Dude, we're not far from that. Just imagine you got AI wrestling; they won't get injured.
Perhaps. Yeah, like we talk about it before, like we were talking about matches and shit. It's like, well, sometimes we mention like, oh, they had good chemistry out there, and it's like, how important is it really to have chemistry? Because it's like, all right, you're both they're all professionals. You feel like most of them should be able to like sort of get along and put on a good match, regardless of how well they know their opponent and how the chemistry involved. This was a perfect example of why chemistry matters, because they had absolutely none of that.
None. I think this might be the video here of that little six. I have a little video of one of the moves that was horrible. I'm going to put it on you may get sound, but okay, this is it. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the screen here. Real quick. It's going to play. Perfect. What the fuck happened there?
I've watched it 5 or 6 different times, and I honestly can't tell you whose fault that was. I can tell you who everybody is blaming it on, but I can't tell you whose fault it is.
Well, they're definitely blaming it on Taya.
From what I saw, a lot of people were blaming it on Bret.
Oh, well, I don't know. You see, and again, we'll play it again. Brit falls. Number one, Brit falls right there. You see Brit fall here. Let's do this. Right here, you see Brit falling over. But you also see, usually, Taya kind of gets like a bounce right there.
Yes.
And I don't know if because she didn't bounce or if because she couldn't bounce because Britt was falling over like a fucking rag doll. Taya looked a little pissed about it, but let me get this off the screen real quick. Taya, let me put this up real quick. Taya did have a tweet in my phone.
Yeah, I read that.
Let me put this out here. And once again, we have toxic, disgusting wrestling fans. Taya Valkyrie put out this morning, waking up to comments such as Taya is fat, disgusting, slow, untalented, loser, looks like a man, and so on and so forth. I'm just a human being trying my best. Remember that next time, and hopefully you'll never have to hear that kind of stuff about yourself. Wow. Fuck wrestling fans, some of them. Obviously not you guys here. You guys are always not included. That are here, always. Anyone listening, neither are you. Always excluded. The present company, always excluded. But, yeah, this was a bad match. I'm not going to fucking lie. But I would never say
there's
any of
nothing
that.
wrong with making fun of it. And there's nothing wrong with tweeting about how bad it was. But why tweet at the wrestlers?
I don't know.
Like, first off, I feel like if they're objective, they knew that they did not have a good night at work.
No.
First off, like they probably got to the back and were like, "Ooh, that wasn't great." And, like, they probably already know that was not a good match. But, like, why tweet at them at all about that? But then also, why be like, that match sucked. You're fucking fat and you're disgusting, and I hate you, and I fucking hope you die. It's like, oh, it's not that real.
Yeah.
Like, it's one match in 2 hours that you basically didn't pay for anyway. Like, you know, if you pay for cable, it's whatever. You're splitting hairs there, but you know.
And I don't know how anyone would call her fat. She is not fat. She's jacked.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my god.
She is fat and she looks like a man. I want to know where you live.
I don't know what I think she is. I think John Morrison is an incredibly lucky man, and I will just say that. And by the way, we did skip a match, the Darby thing. I forgot. I'm sorry. I don't know how I forgot about that. The Darby
Darby Swerve
Strickland match. I was thinking Strickland. I couldn't think of a first name. We did miss that match. I apologize. AR Fox did come out in that match and attack Darby. And he joined that mogul, whatever. Anyway,
mogul embassy. It was really cool though, because he fucking Swerve he vaulted over the top rope and then like did a handstand on the apron to the floor. Like, it was the most ridiculously fucking athletic thing I've seen in recent ever. It was crazy. It was a good match. Like I said, again, for somebody who likes Spot Fest, it was pretty spot heavy because he like ran up the ring steps and then kicked him in the head, like kung fu kicked him.
Yeah.
Swerve kicked Darby. It was pretty fucking cool.
And that
Swerve is really fun to watch.
And that one suicide dive where Darby just like hit Swerve's stomach and dropped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he like basically landed on his head. It was like kind of rough.
Oh, it was
because he did the like the Big E thing where he does like the tope spear combo like situation where he like takes him out from the apron. But and then of course the fucking Lucha Underground nerd in me kind of got excited for that because AR Fox and Swerve. I was like, I think Swerve should know better because like you sort of had a whole big history of him not being a good, trustworthy friend. But hey, you're giving him a second chance. I guess that's the theme of the night.
I guess so. But all right. Well, yeah, we did skip that. But yeah, this match was just awful between these two girls. And again, they might not have chemistry. May have been their first time working together. But Britt Baker usually good in the ring. Taya usually good in the ring. You know what, everybody? We all have a shitty day. Mm-hmm. And you know what? If this is kind of a two-person thing, one of you are having a shitty day, it's just not going to go right. But they both looked like they were working so slow. And I mean, even here, nothing was going right for them. And the poor ref can just look down and go, "What the fuck was that?"
The funny part about that is like I said, I was trying to figure out like what exactly happened, so I watched that a couple of times in a row, and like after it happened, like she fell down, and then Taya like sort of just sat down. There's like silence in the crowd, and you
Yeah.
just hear one guy just yell, "That sucked!" It's like,
I
yep,
didn't hear that.
it sure did, friend. But wow,
Oh, shit. Yeah, there you go. All right. So anyway, I think we're up to the main event, which I don't even have a fucking picture for. It was Blackpool Combat Club versus the Lucha Brothers versus the Best Friends. Not a bad match. I do have to ask, Smark, why does Chuck Taylor always look like he just got off of a fishing boat with like Bill Dance? Like he always has like this like the sunburn thing going on. I don't know. Anyway,
yeah, I don't know,
it looked like he just got out of a fishing boat for some reason.
maybe.
But maybe he did. Maybe that's exactly what he was doing today. It's fucking hot enough. This was a crazy fucking little match here between these guys. Um, but again, I said this at the beginning of the show, right before you came on, Smark. I really caught myself. I grabbed my phone when they were coming down to the ring, and I looked up, and the match was almost over.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I'm like, shit. Number one, it wasn't that long. Number two, I guess it wasn't that interesting of a match, or I would have looked up.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing is like I like the majority of people that are in that match. Like I'm a big Pentagon fan, and I quite a bit enjoy Phoenix too. Blackpool Combat Club, Best Friends. I like them all,
Yeah.
but like it just there wasn't a lot of time, and it just never really felt like it like really picked up. Like it just sort of began and ended. There was
Yep.
never really that moment where it's like, all right, this is really going. It's like
No.
no, it just started, ended. That was it.
Yeah, pretty much. And I mean, Lucha Brothers did pick up the win, so there's that. But yeah, I totally agree. It really just never picked up. It was like it was. I mean, it wasn't as bad as the women's match, but it's like it was looking for that other gear, and it just never got into it. But is is it because Moxley didn't bleed?
That might be it.
Is that what it is? Moxley should have bled.
hmm
He would have loved that. He would have fucking loved that.
Maybe he didn't get permission to bleed this week.
Maybe Tony wasn't there.
Hmm.
I think could have asked Orange Cassidy,
Sure.
Agent Orange, as you say.
That's it.
But as we were saying, as Smark already did say a little while ago, next week is their 200th episode of Dynamite. And we do have a few matches already set. Jack Perry versus Jerry Lynn. I think there's going to be a hook. And again, remember I said a hook. I purposely said that. And again, they did make that a face-to-face, not a match. John Moxley versus Trent Beretta versus Pentagon in an anything goes match. And obviously, Jericho and Takeshita versus Daniel Garcia and Sammy Guevara. So there you go. 200th episode, man. It's fucking hard to believe, man, that it's hard to believe
Indeed.
that it's been that long. How does that many episodes? Which means, I mean, we've covered. I mean, what have we missed? 2 episodes.
Right.
One when I went to Florida last year, and one when we took a break. Yeah, we've missed 2 episodes of this show. So
yeah, we used to do Fridays and we covered some rampages, so it balances up.
Yep, it definitely did, man. So, but as far as all this right now, this is pretty much all we've got. Wow, we're almost at 2 hours. A long show for us in the past couple months. Ooh, sorry about that. So, I've got nothing else. Smark, you?
Not really.
All right, folks. I guess that is it. Appreciate everybody stopping by. Tommy, Chris, Norab, who else? Dirk, always Dirk. And I appreciate everybody stopping by. Great chat tonight. Noe, thanks for stopping in. And I got nothing else. Mark, you got anything? Plug? Anything this? Anything that? Anything?
Showland Appropriate Sports back September 8th.
Oh, coming up, coming up.
Actually, not September 8th, September 4th.
Oh, even earlier.
Yeah, I don't know why I said September 8th. Anyway, September 4th.
All right, just a little, a month and a week away, folks. So there you go. Once again, appreciate the chat room. Great chat room tonight. Definitely appreciate that. Thank you to everyone going to download. Thank you to everyone listening. And we will be back here next week as usual, right around 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Wednesday, Wrestling Outlet.